Let's go over the form of this Beethoven Sonatina in G. You should have already listened to it and already marked your score and diagrammed the form, so I'm just going to go over it. Always scan the score and look, and here's one structural thing we see right there is the double bar line and the repeat sign, meaning that's probably the end of a section. This is the beginning of something new. And if you look for this melody right there, let's just take about 2 measures and we scan through it and look for it again. Same key, same everything starting on G. We're going to find that down there we do see it. So what form is that not? We talked about that in class, that that's not binary because we wouldn't see this melody returning, but we do see it. So let's go back up here and work on the first few measures to get us down to the end of the section. Always count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that the end of a phrase? If you look at the harmony, it ends on a 5 chord. It could be a half cadence. Also, this looks like a subphrase and this looks like a subphrase, and you're right. The melody sort of ends right there, and this is transition material leading into the next phrase. Okay, this is phrase 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have a cadence with do, so, do there, so we're ending on a 1 chord here, a 5 to a 1 arpeggiated there. That works out perfectly. You would call that A, and what would you call that? Does it remind you of it? Does it begin like it? It does until right there. So yes, that's enough to call it an A prime. So we have a parallel period there. That's section A, capital A, the large A section. Here we start the B section. What's contrasting? The melody is a little bit like the first melody, but not entirely. The harmony is basically dominant to 1/6/4, and that's going to be confusing, but I think that's a dominant harmony. It's really based on D, F sharp, A, C. Might look like an A minor chord to you, but it really is dominant. Anyway, subphrase here, and this is a sequence of that, a melodic sequence of that. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, call that a phrase. Is it an A prime? I would call it B. I don't think it's quite enough like the original phrase to call it A prime, and plus it's the contrast. So I would call that a B. And then here, where does the phrase end? 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that work out to be a perfect 4-measure phrase? Because we know what that is. I think it does, and it's different, so I would call that C. So we have a B and a C, and that's our B section makes a contrasting period. And this is starting over the A. Now, the question to ask is it half of A, a portion of A, or is it the entire thing? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that identical to what's above? I believe it is. 5, 6, 7, 8. That's another phrase. Is that identical to above? I think it is. On first glance, I can't see anything different about the melody, so I would call it an A and an A prime, and that would be your return to the entire section A, making that ternary. So that's a ternary form. A, B, A, using capital letters for the sections. If anyone knows this piece and has played it, you will know that I left off something. I stopped right there, and it really has a little coda, which is just closing material, and I didn't want that to interfere with the form discussion, so I just left it off. Beethoven wouldn't like that, but I did anyway. Okay, hope you got that right. Hope that helped.